Alan, this house, this property, absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
This tree that's in front of me looks like it's maybe 200 years old.
Maybe older. It's a big post oak, Quercus stellata. We call her the big sister oak. She was our North Star for the design of this property.
Now, this house is an incredible renovation. How old is this house? When was this originally built? Is this 1900s?
No, it's not an original. You would call it probably a very good fake. It's about 20 years old.
Unbelievable. We're at P. Allen Smith's Moss Mountain Farm. This is an incredible little section of Arkansas. Absolutely beautiful. And I got to tell you, my mom, who's watching this video, has been watching your show for decades.
Well, a lot of people have, yeah. So we've had a PBS show for 20 years.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So this house we're about to tour, y'all, this is a house that truly meets the new house, old soul aesthetic. We're at P. Allen Smith's house. Let's get going.
Matt, you just paid me the greatest compliment about the house. I love it when people say, you know, how old is the house? How long has it been here? Did you renovate it?
It feels really old, Alan. And just from a side view, you know, seeing the paint with the kind of worn look to it, right, and the brick, the Greek revival details. You spent a lot of time and effort getting ready for this build, didn't you?
Well, we did, yeah. It was a labor of love to really understand what the essence of Greek revival in this part of the world was like in 1840. So it was about getting it right for the place and getting it right with the date. The Moss family came here to this place about 1838, we think.
Wow.
So we sort of anchored the house and all the aesthetics of this farm on that date.
I love it. And did you do all the architecture yourself?
No, we had a very talented architect who was part of our design team at the time, Ward Lyle. He really led the charge on getting the details right. And within a 175-mile radius of the farm, we went to 6 properties.
Oh my gosh.
And in that late 1830s, 1840s period, and measured door surrounds and dimensions and windows and muntin sizes and all that kind of thing. Because, you know, the scale is so important. You've got to start with the scale and get all that, and then you begin to work on the details from there.
And the scale looks incredible from there.
Well, it's just meant to be a simple farmhouse.
Now let's walk up, because I actually want to touch some of this. Like touching that brick, it feels like that's a really old brick with a 100-year-old paint job. What are we seeing there?
Well, what you see is a brick that's made in a wood mold. We got them from Boral Brick. It was their 17th century line. And I really liked the unevenness of the brick, and it was a slightly larger brick.
I like that.
And then what we did is I wanted the house to have a more monolithic expression. And people on the show, our viewers, couldn't believe it when I painted, well, lime wash.
That's not paint. Look, it's coming off on me a little bit.
Right.
That's lime wash.
And I love lime wash because it patinas so beautifully. It
really does.
And it's a very sustainable way of coloring a building, particularly a masonry building.
Gorgeous. And the way that it stayed well intact in the porch, but some of the other sides of the house have weathered.
Yes.
I love that you have real working shutters.
That's right, yeah.
And by the way, your shutters are angled correctly as well, right? So that when they're closed, they're angled away.
Right.
And look at this sill stone that has a pitched angle to the cut.
Yeah.
Well done, my friend.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we tried to source materials as close to the site as possible. That was part of our criteria. And these came from, I think, Sugarloaf quarries up in the northwest part of the state.
Okay.
And then the base stone is a field stone from a neighboring county, Claiborne County.
Did you do anything special with the foundation?
We used ICFs for the basement, and we were fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Fantastic.
And then we did a passive solar roof on the under this standing seam roof for heat that takes through PEX tubing, glycol, that heats on the roof and then takes it down into the basement floor, which warms the house. This was 20 years ago, or almost 20 years ago.
That's impressive.
Yeah, well.
Now, if you saw our other video that we made at your farm here,
right.
We shot a video with your company, which is Extreme Panel Technologies.
That's correct.
Is this an Extreme Panel Technology house too?
Well, no, it's not, but it's interesting you bring that up, Matt, because when we were doing this house, I went to IBS, the International Builder Show, which you know so well, and this was, 18 years ago, something like that, I forget, but the idea was to find a SIP manufacturer that we could work with. I don't think there was a SIP manufacturer at IBS that year. And so we had to get on with the project, and instead what we did was we did 2x8 walls and used a soybean oil-based foam in the walls, and then for batting we used shredded denim from a blue jean factory.
How about that?
So we tried to make it as green as possible.
Very cool. So
Yeah.
super thick insulation.
Yeah.
Can we go inside?
Sure, of course. Come on in. Yeah.
Actually, before you go, real quick, I do have one other quick question.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
porch floor feels
Right.
super authentic to me.
Yeah, right.
Is this anything different or special?
No,
Like,
it's-
is this reclaimed material? Or?
No, it's not. It's this porch is held up so well. It's treated pine, tongue and groove porch flooring. Yeah. Now in the back, you'll see we used a wider board on some of the porches in the back, and we'll take a look at that.
And he pitched them correctly, by the way. Our porch has a pitch,
Yep.
and he didn't do tongue and groove this way, which would hold water. He
Yeah.
did tongue and groove towards the slope, so any water that gets in there can run out. I mean, that's just another great craftsmanship detail. Beautiful
Come
job,
on
Alan.
in. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at this. This is gorgeous, Alan. I'm gonna say again, this looks like an incredible remodel of a beautiful old house.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, the ceiling height is 12 feet on this floor, and it's 10 feet on the second floor. And I think the proportions turned out really well for the rooms.
I love it. I mean, look
Yeah.
at these moldings too, y'all. I mean, this is not common in new construction right here. I mean, this looks like it could be easily in a parlor of a 100-year-old house.
We had a very good craftsperson, Mr. John Alexander, put all the door. He made all the doors. He made all the moldings and everything, and I couldn't be happier. And we had a very good contractor who oversaw the entire thing, Larry
Beautiful.
Davis, and I'm indebted to him for it to be, done so well.
Way to go, Larry. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed. Golly, look at this parlor. Would you call this a parlor? Would this be called a dining room?
Well, it would have been called the front room.
Front room, okay.
Probably in the day. It was would have been a place for the family to sort of gather. It's a farmhouse, really,
Yeah.
and so it's not. There are no grand rooms. You can see there's no crown molding because in a lot of Greek Revival houses, of this kind of level, you didn't have crown moldings. Many of them did, but some didn't. And particularly you didn't see it on the upper floors, which were more living spaces. You might have had a little crown molding in sort of the entertaining rooms where you would have had guests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that I noticed right away too, Alan, is your walls are so thick.
Yeah.
Because you've got the 2x8 construction,
That's
you've
right.
got the brick.
Yep.
This really feels like a double or triple wide masonry type building that would have plaster on the inside brick.
That was
because
the
of
idea.
these thick casings, which by the way are gorgeous. I mean, look at that Greek Revival style trim.
Yeah, thank you.
None of this was off the shelf at the local lumberyard. I can't imagine.
No. I thank Mr. Alexander for that. Yeah, he did a very good job.
Beautiful. And this is that Rumford fireplace you mentioned, right?
Right, yeah, so there's one here and there's one in the back room as well. And this is, by the way, Batesville marble. It comes from Independence County, which is about 2 counties away. And isn't it beautiful?
It's beautiful. It's real matte finished, real black.
Right, and so I really liked it a lot. The fireplace mantles were derived from, we followed Asher Benjamin's Country Carpenter. It has, or Carpenter's Companion from like 1823 or something.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
So it helped a lot to get those details right.
And then with that thickness of the fireplace, look at this grand entrance over here that you've got on both sides of the fireplace.
Because there are 5 flues that go up through that chimney. It made it for a rather large single chimney. And so then you ended up with this space, and what happened was this made a return air. And so if you come in here, you can see how you can close off these.
Oh my gosh,
the
look at that.
front parlor or drawing room.
So you've got chimney on this side, but
Yeah, and then this
Come check
turned
this out.
into, so that turned into a china closet.
wow, that's really cool. Which you can leave open or closed too.
That's right. Yeah, you
All right,
can pull it.
so if you
It
had
looks
company over and you want to show them, that's really cool.
Panel door, right.
Beautiful.
And then on the opposite side, because this is a symmetrical room, down there you can see a jib door.
Yeah.
You can see here.
Yep.
And then this space, rather than used for a china closet, this is used for the pantry.
Oh my gosh.
With a jib
look
door.
At that.
It's very, very handy.
Yeah, I like that. It really goes away though,
You're really
doesn't
getting a behind-the-scenes look.
What is in Alan's cupboard?
Right.
And look at your gorgeous kitchen. Now, did you purposely design this as an add-on? I mean, I'm seeing the brick exposed here. This would be kind of like they renovated the house and added this room on over the years.
Well, you're very observant. If you look back, so this would be the original house. So in 1840, there would not have been a kitchen here.
Right.
So this would have been an addition.
Sure.
So the fictional narrative of how this house evolved, and many of them did, is this would have been added. So the same thing happens on the opposite side. That hyphen and this hyphen are about 20 square feet added to the house of an 1840 house, probably added in the 1890s for when they maybe did some bathrooms and an indoor kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gorgeous, with your Dutch door over here too.
Yeah, it's very handy, the Dutch door. Yeah.
I love how your modern appliances kind of go away too. You did the white Viking, which is really fun. I've not seen that before.
Blends in well, yeah.
You did that 20 years ago, but I bet that's a hot seller today. You were ahead of your time, my friend.
Oh, well, I don't know about that, but I sure like it in this room.
And then I have the same farmhouse. Actually, that's not true. I have more like this size of my house. So you've got the double. So you've got two cooks that could be working in the same space, someone prepping, someone cleaning.
Two waste bins on either side, and then two
the double dishwasher.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I would have done that in my house. That's really nice.
It's very handy at Thanksgiving when you've got a lot of hungry people.
You tend to entertain too, considering there's 100 people coming to the farm tomorrow.
Yeah,
for the
well, we do.
Extreme Panel Summit that I'm attending.
We enjoy having company.
You're an incredible host. This door is awesome. I had a door like this when I was growing up in my house in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And the cool breezes could come in, but the dogs wouldn't wander in by having the bottom side latched.
Yeah.
Does this one actually work?
Oh, it does. Yeah. So you can flip the switch here and.
Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh, that brings back some great memories.
Yeah, everything works. It's nothing's here for show. It was all done authentically.
I love it.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Let's go out to the.
We can leave it like that and to keep the dog from coming in.
Yeah. You don't want the dogs to come in.
Yeah. So why don't we have a look at the porch?
I love it.
So this room is the same size as the front room. So from a proportion standpoint.
So they're the same size.
Yeah.
Look at that river view, Alan. Wow.
I had nothing to do with it other than sighting the house.
You picked a great spot. Are breezes come uphill here from the river?
Well, actually the prevailing winds are sort of northwest, so we get a nice breeze that comes across the porch, and that was the idea, to set the house on the north side, so it's the cool side. And then with the prevailing winds coming slightly that direction, you always have a breeze out here, so it makes it really nice.
Which means that these are probably blocking the sun then from you, right?
They do. You can open those, they all operate, and you can open those shutters to get light in and so forth.
Gosh, these operable shutters are gorgeous. And the seafoam green on the
that's the
porch.
wider board here, Matt. Yeah. Again, treated pine, 6-inch board, and I have to tell you, this furniture, it's all been out here for like 18 years.
Is that right?
Yeah, so I
it's
work
in great shape.
Lee Industries, and we use umbrella fabric, and they use stainless steel springs in it, and we use some sort of marine varnish, and all of this furniture has not been moved in 18 years.
That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's really held up well.
And boy, that lime wash just looks so spectacular.
It looks authentic, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
There's something about the house that I really like. That I tend to do fairly modern houses.
Oh, yeah.
And the problem with modern houses is they're kind of perfect when I'm done, and they don't age super well. They kind of go downhill.
Yeah. Right.
And when you come to this style, this house ages gracefully, right? It's a little like us.
Yeah.
We look better now that we're older.
I would say that. Yeah. Certainly in your case. And then this is kind of interesting, where you have going down to the lower porch. There's a lower porch and there's an upper porch, and we'll go to the upper porch in a moment. But this allows you to kind of bring firewood up and not be out in the elements. Yeah.
For sure.
Matt, I think you'll find this interesting. This is kind of one of the working spaces. I always like the functional parts of a house, and so, as you know, we cut a lot of flowers and things out of the garden, and this is a soapstone big sink, so we can bring buckets of flowers in here and things
That is
like
a gorgeous soapstone thing.
Isn't that good?
Ginormous too.
So this room is about the same size as the kitchen, and it's a little bit deceiving. This is the washroom here.
Oh, they hide the washer and dryer behind some barn doors.
Right, yeah. So
smart.
Works really well that way. And then it's made larger by the porch out here, you see. So it's not, the square footage isn't quite as large as the kitchen, but it's made up for its space by the porch.
Beautiful. Can we go upstairs, Alan?
Absolutely, yeah.
Follow us up, guys.
The furnishings in the house are Southern made, 19th century for the most part. There's a few 18th century pieces. And then there's some modern contemporary things mixed in. And when you look back from where we've come, you can see the busts of three patriots, Franklin, Jefferson, and Washington.
Oh man.
All done by Houdon, the French sculptor.
Oh, that's really neat.
Yeah.
This staircase is beautiful.
Very simple.
It is really simple. I mean, you've got, looks like a walnut rail.
Yep.
You've got some pine painted spindles.
That's it.
And then a pine floor.
Right, and we used, this is longleaf Georgia pine for the floors. And we put about 3 coats of tung oil on it, and that's all it's had in 18 years or whatever.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, it held up really well.
That longleaf is a nice wood. It
is. It's
a little harder.
It's a little harder, You're exactly right. And this is the William Fulton bedroom. This is the master bedroom here. This is a little library. And then this is the William Fulton room. So this is William Fulton was Arkansas's last territorial governor. The state became a territory in 1819.
And
the state in 1836. And this was his bed.
Wow.
He lived at a house called Rosewood, which is kind of in the center of Little Rock, where the governor's mansion is today.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really neat. And look at the writing desk here on the bump out. Wow, this is beautiful.
The only firebox or mantelpiece that this is one that came out of a house in Tennessee that I bought in a sale, and it came from very close to where my father's family are from in Middle Tennessee in Warren County. Came out of a house there. It's about an 1830s mantle.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the only.
But everything else is new.
That's the only fragment.
That's the only old archive. That's neat.
Come on out on the sleeping porch.
Ooh, the sleeping porch. I had a feeling you might have this. Wow. With a view and 3 beds ready to go. Boy, if you don't have air conditioning and you're living in Arkansas 100 years ago, you need a porch like this.
Yeah. The summers were brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was
You have nighttime humidity, right? It's not like it gets down to 60 degrees and it's not humid.
No, it stays warm at night and the humidity can be high. Yeah, so this is a very comfortable room, and I think all of our visitors who come from all over the country, they seem to like this room, I think, best of all. I think it's just because it's very unique.
I could see that. And look at the view of your garden space, too, and your other buildings on the property.
We actually built the garden first.
Did you really?
We laid out the terrace gardens and built this summer kitchen over here, you can see to the east, which gets used every day.
Wow.
And then this was, I do drawings and paintings and things like that, and that is my art studio, but it can also serve as a little garçonniere of sorts where you could put a bed in there, and it's got a place for a little kitchenette and also a bathroom and shower and so forth.
Absolutely gorgeous. What a phenomenal tour. I think the details here really are going to speak to the craftsmen who are watching my videos. I mean, this is an unbelievable new house with an absolutely old soul.
Well, thank you. I'm thrilled you were interested and you're sharing it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Alan, you've stopped filming now on your show, right? But you have years of archives.
Yes. Well, we have all the garden home shows for PBS they're looking at putting all of those shows back up. They've asked for a couple of more seasons, so we're entertaining that presently.
Right.
And all of these shows and all the segments we've done for 30 years are on YouTube, and we keep uploading new ones, so they can follow us there.
We will be sure to put a link to those in the description below. Alan, so kind of you to give us a behind-the-scenes
Always a pleasure to be with you,
We
Matt.
didn't even get to it, but he's got a whole 4th floor and a full basement. This house is deceivingly larger than you think. It's about 5,000 square feet or so.
That's about right, yeah.
Plus some porch space.
Of conditioned space, yeah.
And if you want to see more of this house, he's filmed for years on this property and this house. You got to go out and see some of the archives. And by the way, if you didn't see our other video that we shot while we were here at Moss Mountain Farms, we erected an entire ADU literally in less than a day, more like less than an hour.
Yeah,
and Alan is the owner of Extreme Panel Technologies that makes panels up in Minnesota, but is shipping all over the United States and is shipping more and more into the southern U.S. as well. Alan, really appreciate it, my friend.
Always a pleasure.
Guys, if you're not currently a subscriber, hit that subscribe button below. We've got new content here every Tuesday and every Friday. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Otherwise, we'll see you next time on The Build Show.